The Scream franchise has featured many notable actors since the original film's debut in '96, but one actor from the 2022 sequel deserved to stick around longer. The cast of 2022's Scream movie included several notable returning figures, such as Neve Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox. The sequel also introduced a new set of characters headlined by Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. Barrera and Ortega reprised their roles as Sam and Tara Carpenter for Scream 6, which also co-starred Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding as the other half of the core four. Despite being the new faces of the franchise, the upcoming Scream 7 will switch focus back to Campbell's Sidney Prescott in the lead following Barrera's firing and Ortega's departure from the franchise. Scream 7 will still be a mix of new and returning characters, including appearances by Savoy Brown and Gooding, but interestingly, the sequel will feature appearances by deceased characters. Among the dead slated to appear is Matthew Lillard's Stu Macher. It's unclear how Stu will return for Scream 7. Ironically, a Scream 5 character played by Kyle Gallner would have been a fun way to bring Stu back into the fold down the line, but the franchise squandered that chance. Kyle Gallner made his franchise debut in 2022's Scream, the fifth installment of the film series, playing a new character named Vince Schneider. While his name wouldn't ring any bells for Scream fans, Vince had a massive connection to one of the original Ghostface killers. Scream 5 eventually revealed that Vince was Stu Macher's nephew, but unfortunately, the movie didn't fully pay off the connection. Before the truth about Vince's connection to the original movie were revealed, Gallner's character served more like a secondary antagonist and potential Ghostface suspect. His romantic past with Liv caused tension with Chad, especially during an encounter in a local Woodsboro bar. That would mark the end of Vince, since he was killed by Ghostface before the character could emerge as a viable threat to the group. Scream 5 had a handful of new characters, but the sequel missed a fun opportunity to use Vince as the ultimate red herring with his interesting family connection to Stu. Out of all the potential Ghostface suspects, finding out that Stu's own nephew followed in his footsteps would have been an intriguing twist. It also would have added another interesting layer to the movie's third act, since it was set in the former Macher family home where Vince's mom once lived. Vince's time in Scream 5 was already too brief from a character perspective, but when looking at the actor behind the role, it's clear the sequel completely wasted the potential. Kyle Gallner was no stranger to horror before appearing in 2022's Scream. The actor had key roles in The Haunting in Connecticut, Jennifer's Body, and A Nightmare on Elm Street between 2009 and 2010. However, it was another horror release in 2022 that put him in front of an even wider horror audience. Gallner notably played a key role in Parker Finn's directorial debut, Smile, a psychological horror movie that went on to become a major box office success, spawning a sequel in 2024. Gallner reprised his role as Joel in Smile 2 for a brutally thrilling opening sequence that truly set the tone for the rest of the movie, further proving why the actor continues to be a powerhouse for the horror genre. Fittingly enough, between the two Smile movies, Gallner strictly starred in horror and dark thriller movies, such as The Passenger and Strange Darling, which co-starred Willa Fitzgerald, who led the first 2 seasons of the Scream TV show. Funny enough, Gallner's next big project set to release is Carolina, Carolina, a thriller that also features another Scream vet in Samara Weaving.